Okay. Oh my goodness. This is an announcement at the end, so I'm gonna. Welcome. Good morning. My name is Cindy Loudon, and I use she, her pronouns. I serve this congregation on the Adult Religious Education and Environmental Justice teams. As worship associate, I will be co-leading our service this morning with Bridget Laflin. Bridget has preached here often, and we are happy to welcome her back to the pulpit. Welcome to our special place. At the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of the Quad Cities, we welcome all people into our beloved community of whatever age, race, class, ethnicity, physical ability, sexual orientation, gender identity, or religious background. We welcome especially those joining us for the first time. We live stream our services, and those recordings are then saved in our UUCQC YouTube channel. If you do not wish to appear in these recordings, you may sit under the owl's nest by the bookshelves. We invite everyone to join us downstairs after service for coffee, snacks, and conversation. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Respond to infections and disease. Sometimes we can divorce them from our bodies, and other times they become permanent parts of us. Your body and all that is within it, both wanted and not wanted, has a place here. Our bodies join in a web of co-creation, created and creating, constantly changing us. Scarred and tattooed, tense and relaxed, diseased and cured, unfamiliar and intimate. Formed in infinite diversity of creation, your body is welcome here. All of it. So take a moment and welcome it. Take a moment to feel it. Take a moment to be in it. Come, let us worship together. As Cindy lights our chalice, let's recite the unison reading which appears in your order of service or on the display. In the light of truth and in the warmth of love, we gather to seek, to sustain, and to inspire. Now please rise in body or spirit for our opening song, number 1028 in the teal hymnal, The Fire of Commitment.
In the spirit of love and fellowship, let us now acknowledge the holy in our midst by briefly greeting those around us, especially those we don't know.
Good morning, friends. Yeah, let's not sit too close to that fire. How we doing today? Good. Did we have a good weekend? Yeah. Did we have a good week at school? Have we made any new friends at school this week? Yeah? Yes, Zoe. Cool. That's fun. Yes. Awesome. It's great to make new friends, right? So this story that we're going to read today is all about making new friends. It's called The Big Umbrella. And after the story is done today, later you can draw a picture of yourself to put under our big umbrella on our bulletin board. So I encourage everybody next week to check out our bulletin board in the RE wing. By the front door, there is an umbrella. It is big. It is a really big, friendly umbrella. It likes to help. Do you like to help? It likes to spread its arms wide so it can fit more people. Give shelter. It loves to gather people in. It doesn't matter if you are tall or hairy or plaid. He's wearing plaid. It doesn't matter how many legs you have See, the puppy's welcome too. Would we want a spider under our umbrella? Some people worry that there won't be enough room under the big umbrella. But the amazing thing is, there is always room. Like we always have room for new friends in our life, right? Yeah, it could be a sun umbrella. It doesn't have to be raining to use an umbrella. That's true. And that's actually a good example of our friends can help us when we're happy, and our friends can help us on our rainy days, right? We can use our umbrella on sunny days and rainy days. Yeah. All right, are we ready to go downstairs to our classes? Yeah. All right, let's go.
Good morning. I'm Barbara Thompson, a member of the Pastoral Care Team. As we gather today, we pause to reflect on what lies in our hearts. In this time of sharing, we take a moment to recognize our personal joys and sorrows and to read the book of joys and sorrows, those personal life events you have chosen to share with us. And we have from Lori McCullum and the rest of the congregation today. Thanks to the interior design team for installing the handrail for the steps to the chancel. Do we have any joys or sorrows online?
Ashley Price, prayers to Charlie Kirk's family in loss this past week in Utah.
Thank you. And from Alice Traylor, a sorrow, the violence in our country and lack of gun control. For what has been shared and for what remains in the quiet sanctuary of our hearts, we are grateful. Let us become aware of the energy that brings us together in beloved community as we share a time of silent meditation. May we open our minds and hearts to a place of quiet, to a silent prayer for the healing of pain and the comfort of love. You are invited to come forward and light a candle during the musical meditation that follows.
Our first reading today comes from Teresa Novak, and it is titled Taking Up Space. I am a large woman, and I need some space. The world is not big enough sometimes. Sharp elbows jutting, jabbing, the smaller people push by with impatience. Their looks of disgust try to cut me down to size. I don't feel crowded by other fat people, even in a small space. Our round bodies bump pleasantly together with a jiggling Jell-O pudding ease. Comfortable. Earth Mother Goddess. Welcoming, warm, and wise. Funny how someone so big can feel so invisible. Yes, extra large is way too small. Really, I don't want to feel small, simply because I am what someone else thinks is way too big. I am a large woman, and I need some space. I want to grow larger still, spirit filling my body and more, flowing out, around, free. Divine Spirit, larger than all imagination, teach us how to bump more gently into one another. May our spirits flow around the sharp edges, around the rude elbows that jab us apart. We are large souls, and we need some space to be together.
This congregation is a theologically diverse religious community with membership open to all who are in accord with our values, mission, and vision. Our congregation is entirely self-governed through the democratic process. One of the privileges of our free church tradition is to provide all of the financial support for our many ministries from among ourselves. Generosity, therefore, is one of the spiritual values we recognize as central to our personal and our institutional well-being. This month's undesignated plate offering will go to the Unitarian Universalist Association. This is an opportunity for us to support their services and staff, from their semi-annual magazine to their annual General Assembly. There are a multitude of offerings you can access online. For more information, please see the back of your order of service or visit the UUA website. We invite you now to participate in the blessing of giving as the ushers come among you to accept the gifts of the congregation. Please be as generous as you are able. For all the gifts of time and treasure that you have given to this congregation, with sincere gratitude, we thank you. Today we have a second reading from Alicia Marie Foster, titled, When Did Self-Love Become Shameful? Let me begin with these 3 should-be simple words. I like myself. I like my smile, and I like my eyes. And I like that I don't have a gap between my stretch-marked thighs. I like the color of my skin and the curl of my hair, and the fact that my ears are small and ever so slightly crooked. But what I don't like is that can label me as self-centered. Hear me out. When did we get to the point in society that it's actually considered better to hate your body, your temple, the vessel of your soul, than it is to appreciate it for all of its quirks and shapes? When did self-love become shameful? Since when do we celebrate it when pop culture literally tells us, that our insecurities are what makes you beautiful? Because words cut deeper than the blades that we press to our skin over Photoshop magazine covers can ever reach. But these words are not just being cut into us, they are being drilled. They are being drilled into us from the moment our parents find out, boy or girl. Because from that very moment, everything they know about how a girl or boy should be comes from everything that's been drilled into them. And it's not usually their fault per se, because most of it on its own could be, should be, would be harmless. And they can only protect us from what's not for so long. That's why there are 8-year-olds with already broken hearts wishing upon these long broken stars just to be beautiful. We are guilty of not being enough, guilty until proven innocent, but our innocence was stolen from us long before we could ever know what it was. So for anyone to say they like themselves is an act of rebellion. It's a battle cry, simply because it is not a cry for help. I am not the first, I will not be the last to stand in front of a mirror and tell myself, I like me, I have worth, every day until I finally believe it. Because what those people who have called me self-centered don't realize is that just because I like myself most of the time does not mean that I do not sometimes drown in self-consciousness. I'm in my 2nd decade and only 5 feet high, and it's still something that can make me want to stay inside because society tells me I must be tall to be truly beautiful. But this is my body, my temple, the vessel of my soul. So stop the beauty madness. This is my act of rebellion. This is my battle cry because I am what makes me beautiful.
Friends, today my talk is about fat liberation. It will include talking about beauty, weight, diet, and body size. I will use the word fat a lot. I will be talking about harm that is experienced by fat people. So if any of this is triggering to you, I ask that you please take care of yourself. And if self-care means leaving the sanctuary or turning off the computer and not listening to the sermon today, I totally understand. Know that you are loved and cherished just as you are. As you can all see, I am a fat person. It's okay. Fat is not a dirty word. I am not being mean to myself or insulting myself by saying that. I'm a fat person. I'm also a short person, a brunette person, a middle-aged person. Fat is just an adjective. It is not inherently bad or offensive. In fact, I'm much more bothered by the word overweight, because that implies that there's a lower weight which would be better for my body. I am a fat person, and I like my body. I am not ashamed of how I look, that my tummy is big, and that most of my body is soft and squishy on the outside. It makes for really great hugs. Unfortunately, most of society does not agree with me. We have been taught that all fat people have a skinny person inside just waiting to get out. Spoiler alert, not true. We have been taught that it is shameful to love our bodies as they are. We are supposed to work constantly to be more beautiful. And part of that beauty means thinness. But guess what? You don't have to be beautiful. Society defines it, and you can choose not to prioritize that in your life. Aaron McKean said, "You don't owe prettiness to anyone. Not your boyfriend, spouse, partner, not to your coworkers, especially not to random men on the street. You don't owe it to your mother, you don't owe it to your children, you don't owe it to civilization in general. Prettiness is not a rent you pay for occupying a space marked female." And while that quote is directed at women, it's applicable to all of us. You do not owe a specific physical appearance to anyone. You have the right to present your body in whichever way you like. Ultimately, we each need to decide for ourselves how we spend our time and our resources while we dwell on this earth. And in considering how you would like to spend your precious time, I would encourage you to think about your values. What things do you believe are most important? Where does your physical beauty fall in that list of things that you value? And does the amount of time, money, and energy that you spend working on that beauty, is that in line with your values? The fear and hatred of being fat in this society is pervasive. It's just like the air we breathe. No one is immune to it. Fat people are just not treated equally in society. A person who is fat is assumed to be lazy, less intelligent, and less trustworthy than a thin person. They are less likely to be given a job, and fat people often get paid less for doing the same work. In addition, the social stigma of being fat often results in depression and social anxiety. And this anxiety starts young. According to the Emily Foundation, a foundation that supports people with eating disorders, 42% of first to third graders want to be thinner. And 81% of 10-year-olds are afraid of being fat. Over 30 million Americans will struggle with eating disorders in their lifetime. And eating disorders carry the highest mortality rate of any mental health condition in our country. Someone dies every 52 minutes in the United States as a direct result of an eating disorder. Bullying about body size and appearance is the most common form of bullying in schools, and it continues into adulthood. It's one of the few forms of hate speech that's still acceptable. All of this results in fat people being marginalized. We are less likely to engage in physical activity outside of our homes because we are made to feel that we should be embarrassed by our appearance and are afraid of being made fun of or bullied. We are told that people are disgusted by our appearance. Gyms, pools, and places where people exercise in public are particularly difficult because of the hate-filled comments people make and the dirty looks we must endure. Beyond the social discomfort of being a potential target for bullying every time we leave the house, it is often physically uncomfortable because public spaces are not built to accommodate our bodies. Seats on airplanes, in restaurants, auditoriums, theaters, amusement parks, and even churches can be physically painful because they were not designed to fit fat bodies. So self-care is therefore much more difficult, and many fat people end up feeling alone and isolated. Fat people are also less likely to go to the doctor because we've been taught to feel shame about our bodies and guilty that we are not thin. We feel unworthy of medical treatment because weight and health have been so conflated that we suspect any illness we have is our own fault because we're fat. And doctors can reinforce that thinking. No matter the complaint we have when we go to see them, we are almost always lectured about obesity and told to lose weight, because they can mark that as a separate counseling charge and get paid for weight counseling regardless of what they tell you, as long as they mention it. A study of primary care physicians found that more than half of doctors viewed fat patients as awkward, unattractive, and non-compliant. More than a third of these physicians characterized fat patients as weak-willed, sloppy, and lazy. In another study, 45% of a sample of physicians agreed that they have a negative reaction to obese individuals. So it's no surprise that when we fat people go to the doctor, physicians are much less likely to accurately diagnose and treat problems for us. This anti-fat bias leads to a tendency to blame any medical complaint on the weight of the patient, and doctors are less likely to explore other causes. I cannot tell you how many times I have been in a doctor's office and have had to ask, so if I were a thin person, what would the next step be? Let's do that. The truth is, being fat is not necessarily unhealthy. Hating ourselves is always unhealthy. Not believing that we deserve good things is unhealthy. Being bullied and assaulted is unhealthy. And the things we do to our bodies to try to lose weight are usually unhealthy. Weight cycling, the process of losing weight and then gaining it back, and then losing it again and gaining it back, is unhealthy. Several studies have shown that weight cycling causes an increased risk of cardiovascular disease and higher risk for heart attacks. Losing weight and gaining it back again also messes with your metabolism. So people tend to gain back more weight than they lost in the first place. Dieting tends to make a person immune to understanding their body's signals for hunger. So eating in a healthy way becomes more and more difficult the more one diets. Statistics vary depending on which study you look at, but somewhere between 85 and 90% of people who lose weight by diet and exercise or medication gain all of the weight back and end up weighing more than when they started. I want to ask, if a medication had a failure rate of 85 to 90%, had side effects that damaged a person's heart and worsened the conditions that it was supposed to be treating, would you take that medication? Would it even be legal? So why do we keep telling people to try to lose weight? I'm not saying don't exercise and eat your veggies, because those things have been proven to improve your health. But do them to improve your strength, your flexibility, your mood, your overall health, not to lose weight. In the film Your Fat Friend, activist Aubrey Gordon explores the effects of weight cycling and the eventual weight gain that almost always accompanies it. She suggests that when you see a very fat person, rather than think that they just don't care, or they don't try, or they are lazy, Remember, it is more likely that they have tried many, many things, and this is the result. As Unitarian Universalists, we believe in equity and justice, grounded in love. We vow to uplift the marginalized voices in our society. We work to make our churches welcoming to all people. We understand that our search for truth and meaning requires us to learn new things and interrogate ourselves to discover the ideas within us that are unjust or uncaring. So one would think that a UU church would be a safe place, but it isn't necessarily. I have experienced many subtle acts of exclusion and many not so subtle ones in UU settings. I have been in situations where the chairs were too narrow or flimsy to be comfortable or safe for me. People have commented, "Oh, you lost weight, you look so great." After I had an illness that was devastating to my body and during which I had hardly been able to eat, which resulted in unintentional weight loss. I have been offered information on diets, health clubs, and medical weight loss treatments by well-meaning UUs. And once at church, I was even told that someone was so thankful for their own weight loss journey because otherwise they might have ended up looking like me. Friends, as we get closer to the fall and winter holidays, which often revolve around food, I call on you to explore your feelings about fatness. Where did those feelings come from? Are they preventing you from unconditionally loving yourself or other people? In what ways is your anti-fat bias showing? Are you talking about how, "Oh, that food is so bad I shouldn't," or how I'll have to work out if I eat this or that? Are you critical of other people's food choices? Do the chairs in your spaces accommodate fat bodies? Do you automatically compliment someone who's visibly lost weight? All of these things are ways in which fat bias shows up subtly and reinforces oppression and the feeling that fat people are not welcome. Embracing the fat liberation movement is one of those issues that will feel deeply uncomfortable for most of us. But like all anti-oppression movements, it is work that we are called to do. I am proud to be a member of the Unitarian Universalist Church for many reasons. But one of those reasons is that the UUA Board of Trustees, a couple years ago, recognized the need to address fat bias in our congregations and in our world. And as far as I've been able to tell, we are the only religion which has formally stated that they will affirm the worth and dignity of people with fat bodies and work to recognize and dismantle fat phobia. Yay! There is a passage in the Hebrew Bible, Psalms 139, verse 14, which reads, "I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well." I am fearfully and wonderfully made. In the original Hebrew, the word yara is used in this phrase. Yara doesn't have a direct translation into English. Here it is translated as the word fearfully. In other parts of the Bible, it is sometimes translated as terrible or awesome or reverent. It is a powerful word to reflect something so awesome that it must be treated with extreme reverence. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Your body is holy, and deserving of deep respect and reverence. You do not need to change it. You do not need to hide it. You do not need to be anything other than who you are. Society's ideal of beauty is an unachievable construct created by our culture in order to profit from our insecurities. You do not need to buy into it. Enjoy your body. Eat healthy food. Eat food that tastes good. Move your body in ways that make you feel good. Find a doctor who will properly take care of your body. Take care of your precious body in ways that will help you achieve your goals and live into your values. Be mindful of how you spend this one precious life you have been given. I rejoice because I am fearfully and wonderfully made, and I hope that you can do the same. May it be so. And now we're going to sing our closing hymn. It's number 1053 in the teal hymnal, but I'm going to encourage you to put your hymnals down. It's a very short song. The words are up on the screen. We're going to sing it through 4 times. The first 2 times are going to be so you can learn it or remember it if it's one that you already know. And the third time, I'm going to ask you to turn towards someone next to you and sing it to them. And the 4th time, I'd like you to sing it to yourself and really try to mean it. So please rise, embody your spirit, and join in song. You can be seated for the announcements.
Just a reminder that anyone interested in joining a connection circle can sign up on the bulletin board outside of the sanctuary or by contacting Linda Pratt. Also, the NAACP Annual Freedom Fund Dinner will be held on September 27th. Join Marcy and Layton at this very special event at the Rogowski Center at St. Ambrose. Starts at 5 o'clock. Talk to Marcy if you are interested. The NAMI Walk is coming up on October 4th. We would appreciate people signing up and walking with us. Any amount of donation is welcome. Please see Lisa Campbell or Marcy Doyle. Quad Cities Interfaith Annual Banquet will be held on October 26th. We are attempting to gather a table of 8 and have several chairs to fill. Please see Marcy if you are interested and able to join. Today, Sunday the 14th, is the electric vehicle rally at the Freight House Farmers Market until 3 p.m. this afternoon. Drop by and learn about the specifics of EVs from vendors and owners. The Clean Vehicle Tax Credit is expiring soon. Meet and greet on Tuesday, September 16th, 2025, 4 to 6 p.m. in the social hall for our new minister, Pastor Michelle Townsend Grove. All who can, we hope you will join us in welcoming her to our congregation. If you have an announcement for a Sunday service, please send it to the office. One more announcement, this is an important one. The fundraising committee has a fun event planned for the evening of October 11th. It's a mixology class called Sip and Savor. We will have a bartender showing us how to mix several cocktails with an autumn flavor. Everyone will be able to sample the drinks. Appetizers and desserts will be paired to complement the drinks. We will be selling seating to the event starting today downstairs. Price is $30 in advance or $35 at the door. This would be a great event to invite friends to attend. Because of the alcohol, everyone must be 21 or over. We also need people to help make appetizers and desserts and people to help set up and clean up. It will be in the sanctuary, so we need to have the room ready for service the next day. Okay. Finally, let me draw your attention to the additional announcements printed on the back of your order of service.
As Cindy extinguishes our chalice, please join in the unison recitation which appears in your order of service and on the display. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, or the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. May you go out into the world knowing that you are whole and holy and deeply loved, exactly as you are. May it be peace. May it be so. Go in peace. You may remain seated for the postlude.